welcome back to the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. We've been speaking this hour with brain-based coach Jackie Kellso. So, Jackie, I wanted to kind of close out with just a couple of topics. One that I find I hear a lot in business circles these days is the intergenerational issues, the fact that like boomers and Gen Xers and millennials, how can we use sort of this brain-based approach to help us when we're dealing with, whether it's in our businesses or in our jobs, working with people of different generations where sometimes the language is kind of different. Different things mean different things to people at different stages of life.
You're exactly right. And what I've discovered in my research, because I've done seminars on managing millennials and big questions about keeping them long-term, et cetera, is, and I'm a baby boomer, so I'm 2 generations, right, from a millennial. But here's the deal. Millennials' heroes are themselves millennials. So you have the billionaires, and we all know who they are, who have been at the forefront of our millennials' lives. So they have a much deeper entrepreneurial spirit than my generation or maybe late Gen Xers so they're coming into the workforce ready to create, ready to design, ready to be part of something big. And I don't want to place blame on parenting or schools or anything like that. It's just a cultural difference.
Right.
And the problem that we face in managing them is not understanding that they're already coming fueled with these ideas, and they want a voice. They want access to higher ups. They want to know that they're included.
Right.
Now, yes.
They want to be treated as equals.
They want to be treated as equals. And where management has to bend is understanding that, yes, they may be lacking life wisdom, literally the amount of time it takes to understand how things work, or how corporate life works. But there's a tremendous amount of smarts that can be utilized from the millennials, and I think they need the opportunity to express that. So, for example, one thing that I've done to help a client who has a particularly challenging millennial is to say, give this person his or her passion project. Because millennials are very conscientious about the world and really love volunteerism. So what can you give this person that also fits within the function of the company and the goals of the company, doesn't take time away from the job, but gives this person a sense of ownership of something, and where he or she can be entrepreneurial in essence, while participating as part of a team. So you really have to think about cultivating your millennial based on the millennial's culture and understanding of himself or herself in the world. It's really opening yourself up, and that goes back to feeling of threat. And when we don't align with the way people think or what they believe, that we're creating all of these walls. But they don't have to really exist if we just allow ourselves to open up and learn from the differences.
Right. So it's being more open, more flexible, and giving millennials something that they'll really enjoy doing, because if they enjoy it and they're passionate about it, they're going to give it their all. I mean, millennials are kind of, you give them something they believe in, and they will work practically 24 hours a day to accomplish it, won't they?
They will. They'll be online. They'll be texting. They'll be doing everything. I think the big problem with managing millennials is that expectations have not been set for them. They don't understand, well, hey, this is how fast you move up in this company, or this is what we need to see in order for you to succeed. Managers are not communicating the expectations they have, and they're not holding their people accountable for delivering on those expectations. So millennials are flying and leaving to other companies where they think there's going to be a better gig.
Right. Gotcha. So really communication.
Big time, yep.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is that I see a lot now in business is talking more about inclusion, diversity, and women in the workplace. And I just saw some article the other day someone posted about how there is like a huge number of white males that are not working now, and that the biggest increase in the workforce is coming from women.
Wow.
And so as a woman, like dealing in a lot of tradition, especially like technology and stuff, there's a lot of still very male dominated industries out there. How as a woman can a woman show up in a way that's more effective for them to be able to make change, to be able to accomplish things and still be a woman?
That's a kind of a loaded question, and I love it. Because I don't have an instantaneous answer. What I can say is that, and I wrote an article on this, stop worrying about the woman card. It's not about playing a woman card. It's about being the best you can be. It's still being open. It's being gracious. Those characters of those qualities of characters that are important. Humble. Being real. And whenever you feel you're being disingenuous or that you're diminishing yourself or allowing others to diminish you, that's where you need the work to stop that. So to me, it's not the lines are drawn about being a woman versus being a man. I don't care if the lines are blurred on that. It's just being the best you.
Right. So it's really showing up and being fully present, fully authentic.
That's it.
And fully there so that regardless of what the individual situation is, regardless of what's happening around you, you're being as real as you can be so people see that.
That's right. And also being cognizant of things. Like, there's a scientific phrase called resting bitch face. I mean, literally, there's a scientific, and it looks kind of like this for Facebook Live and for you. It's like, you could just be thinking. You could be thinking about, I need a new pair of shoes. It doesn't mean you're thinking anything negative. But people, because we have what we call mirror neurons in our brains, which sympathize with the emotions of the other person. So if you're looking like this, the other person is going to be looking like this because of those mirror neurons, and then not having a good impression of you because you're making him feel bad about yourself. But that's his doing because he's taking on your emotions. So in terms of how women are classified so frequently as bitches if they're bossy or assertive, watch the facial expression. Be aware. What is my face doing? Think about cheeks up in ears. Cheeks up in ears. That brings a little smile to the face. And because people will be ready to catch you on resting bitch face and then think, she's a bitch. So cognizance is important.
Gotcha. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for coming on the show today. It's really been a pleasure having you. If people want to find out more about you, your website, how do people get in touch with you?
Thank you. My website is pointmakercommunications.com, and my email is jackie@pointmakercommunications.com. I'm literally all over the web, YouTube, blog, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm there. You'll see me.
Awesome. Good social media. And those videos you mentioned before on the YouTube, people can just go to your YouTube channel and find them there? Yeah, I have a
Jackie Kellso YouTube channel, Jackie Kellso. So,
all right, yes. Wonderful. Any events coming up? Anything in particular you'd like to mention to our audience?
I'm working on an event with a colleague right now, but I can't
Not ready
acknowledge
yet.
it yet,
no
but you'll know about it soon.
Yeah. So just definitely follow her, catch her on social media, keep up with what Jackie's doing. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Thank you,
really
Sam.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. So just to finish up the show, a couple of announcements. I've finally posted our Conscious Business Collective event. It's actually next week, next Thursday, April 27th at 7 p.m. I've posted it to Eventbrite and to our meetup group. For those who have not yet joined our meetup group, it's meetup.com/conscious-biz-collective. Thank you for all the love and the thumbs up and the hearts on the Facebook live stream. It's wonderful to see. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to say, like, hey, if you want to know about things going on and who our guests are coming up, please go to the Talkradio.nyc website. Sign up for our newsletter. We put these events. There's some, a couple of events coming up really good. There's a good friend of mine, Jane Tabachnik, who's been on the show, who's doing a writer's workshop on a weekend. We put that in the newsletter. The Conscious Business Collective is in the newsletter. Find out about, what guests are coming up on the various shows. So please go up and sign up for the newsletter. And next week, I have a wonderful, wonderful guest, getting back to my roots, a healer by the name of Hope Fitzgerald, who's coming into town talking about her kind of experience and what brought her to this wonderful work she's doing now with something called the Infinity Wave. So we're going to get a little woo-woo next week, but don't worry, we'll keep it real, and something I think you guys will really, and gals will really appreciate. So please tune in next week, 12 noon Eastern Time on Thursdays, the Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We will talk to you next week.